You tell I'm wearing a tank top underneath this shirt? Because I didn't want to film just wearing a tank top. Oh yeah, that's how we film. Ooh, oh, it's so 80s. Anyway, just wanted to wear a regular shirt and this was the only shirt I can grab, which is a deep v-neck. That makes sense. Anyway, The Lodge is what we're talking about today. I recently recolored my hair, so I'm feeling a little bit better. No eyebrows this time because I didn't go outside. But anyway, so we're talking about The Lodge. The Lodge is, I was gonna say filmed. It was directed by the same people who did Goodnight Mommy, and that was a movie. Um, and I have to say, like, Goodnight Mommy, I feel like that movie, like, people hyped it up more than it is so bright out. The last couple days have just been, like, overcast and rainy, and then I'm like, oh, it's gonna be, and then today is sunny. And I'm filming, well, anyway. So, I feel, like I said, I feel like people had, like, overhyped Goodnight Mommy about how it was and this movie and all that stuff. And when I ended up watching it, I was like, it's alright. And then, so, the, that group of directors, the couple, the two people who did this movie, The Lodge. Well, this one's also in English. I think the other one wasn't. I don't remember. It was a bit of time when I saw that movie. Anyway, so, The Lodge is about, like, it's a couple, like, it's like a new stepmommy, I'm guessing, kind of thing. I'm guessing. It is. It's a new stepmom. And, she's with the kids. The dad has to, like, go and all that stuff. And then, like, weird stuff ensues. Now, again, I'm going to start mentioning movies, but this time it's because they did it themselves. I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay, this. And then the moment they're like in the living room of the lodge and they're watching The Thing, I was like, I had like that Mystery Science Theater moment of like movie, don't put a better movie in your movie, like. What was it like? I jokingly said that when I went to go see Atomic Blonde, I was like, you put Stalker in your movie, like, geez. Although Atomic Blonde and Stalker are two completely different movies, so it was totally fine. Also, it was right around the time period because it was the 80s. But anyway, here it's like, it's a movie about you guys stuck in your lodge and it's cold outside and you're watching The Thing. High bar to set, Also, like, the movie has, like, this dollhouse that the little girl has, and it's definitely very, very, very reminiscent of Hereditary with the miniatures, Because they were, like, in the beginning, the camera kind of pans into, the dollhouse, and then you realize it's a dollhouse because then you see, like, dolls just, like, sitting there, like, all that stuff. So you're like, oh, okay, and then it zooms out and well, I mean, not zooms out, but then you see, like, the mom, like, looking in, and you're like, oh, it's a dollhouse, but immediately, again, I was just like, is this trying to be Hereditary, because this did come out several years, after it, and yeah, like, and all this, I really didn't like this movie, like, not just because I'm like, oh man, it feels you're trying to use The Thing and Hereditary. Also, you have a bit of, like, The Shining feel to it because you're a family, you're just, like, stuck in a place and you can't go anywhere kind of stuff. There's snow and shit happening. But it's also, like, the story's not good. I think the story worked because, I'm like trying not to be spoiler, but because it's hard to talk about this movie without really going into it. But, like, I guess it's like, it's good because then you agree that certain people are terrible and that's how you wrote the characters. At the same time, like, it's not good, you know? Um, so I guess before I go into spoilers, the new, no, I'm not even, because that really is part of the spoilers. But anyway, this movie is, it's on Hulu right now. Hulu right, there's like a W in that word. It's streaming on Hulu right now, so it's not like I had to rent it, so I didn't have to worry about being like, well, okay, I just spent that money on that. So, like Richard Armitage is in it, but he's there, and then after 30 minutes, he's gone, and then he's back at like hour and 30. So like for an entire hour, I don't get to see Richard Armitage's fine ass, you know, and I mean like that's anyway. And then there's the kid who's in the movie It, the main kid who has the little brother Georgie. Him, I'm getting kind of sick of seeing him because he's like in that, and then he's in that Defending Jacob thing with Chris Evans. So every time I see a picture of Chris Evans, I have to see a picture of him. You know, like I don't know. He just has that very like annoying young boy look that I can't stand. All the other kids from the It movies, I'm like, I'm fine. You know, with seeing like the girl who plays Beverly, she's fucking everywhere. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, because she was at fucking Gretel. But anyway, I'm gonna go into spoilers because anyway, 1, 2, 3 spoilers. So again, this is on Hulu, so it's not a waste, and you can just put it on right now and all that stuff. God damn this wind. But anyway, my door's shaking. Oh God, it's ghosts. So the movie starts off, and the kid's actual mom is Alicia Silverstone, which I was like, I remember I kept thinking like, is that Alicia Silverstone, or am I just thinking it's Alicia Silverstone? You know what I mean? But I was like, oh my God, it really is. Because there was a bunch of parts where she didn't do the Alicia Silverstone smile, the thing she does. Like I had to look on IMDb when I was watching it, and then there's one part like during the movie where they play like an old video of her, and she does the smile. I'm like, there it is. But anyway, so her as the mom, the movie starts out, and then like Richard Armitage is like, he's like, yeah, so you know, I'm hot and all that stuff, and he's like, yeah, so I want us to like, you know, really go on with the divorce. You know, I've met this new girl, and we're gonna get married, you know, soon. And I was just like, ooh, God, alright, this is how we're starting the movie. So far, I'm cool with it. And then, like, Alicia Silverstone's character goes, and she's just kind of like, she's sad, because she's like, alright, this divorce is happening, all that stuff. She just, like, sits in the kitchen. All of a sudden, she just brings up a gun, bam, shoots herself in the mouth. And I was like, yo! I was like, yo! So already I was like, yo, okay, I'm in this. I'm in this with this movie. I like this. I'm in this. And so then, you know, 6 months later, all that stuff, they go, it's like, you know, like winter time and all that stuff. So they're like, okay, let's go to the lodge because of Christmas and all that stuff. So they go with their stepmommy, and the son is like, hey, like, is there something wrong with her? Like, you know, the stepmommy, you know, all that stuff. He's like, and the dad, I think, is a psychologist or something. Anyway, brain stuff. And so then the son and the daughter go on the dad's computer to look up, like, information on the girl, and she used to be in the cult, and the cult has a very Heaven's Gate kind of feel to it because they all killed themselves, and then they have like the purple sheets over them and all that stuff. Not really, the Nikes aren't on the feet, the Nikes are on the side of I was supposed to say side of the shoe, side of the bed, you know, but instead of, you know, like in Heaven's Gate where there's the bag over their heads, all that stuff, when you remove the purple cloak over them, it's just a piece of duct tape over their mouth that says sin, because it's like it's a religious cult more than an alien ship cult. I mean, not alien ship, the comet. You know what I mean. So whatchamacallit, yeah. The Hale-Bopp comet. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So it's like taking from that, and like she's like the only survivor. The girl is the only survivor of that cult, and you know she had actually like recorded like the footage of the dead people. You know she was 12 years old at the time. You can't really incriminate her because, you know, she's 12. You know, like she's just kind of, she's a kid, so she doesn't really know. So while they're at the lodge, you know, every so often she's got pills she's got to take, and she's really good at like kind of keeping it away from the kids because she has it like in a cabinet that she has to like open, and there's a drawer, like all this stuff, you know. And then like you already know that the kids have like an ulterior motive to be like, we don't like this lady. It's like, I get it. You lost your mom, like she killed herself, so that's horrible. You don't like your new mommy because one, it's too soon, and I totally get that. But three, why are you going to fuck with her, you know? And again, this is the part where I was saying how it's good because you're writing it where we don't like the kids. At the same time, it's not good for us to, like, it's not good for us to hate kids, but it's like this is not good, you know. It's again, it's like with Goodnight Mommy, where it's like these terrible kids. It's like the directors, these people who come up with these movies. It's like I have a lot of reasons not to have children of my own and not liking other people's kids, but these are like it's not solidifying the whole like children are great thing that people like to sell to you all the time. This is just like burn the children. It's like Gretel and Hansel. It's like just kill them, burn them. You know, it's like fucking ridiculous. And so they slowly start fucking with her, you know, and then one day like she passes out, wakes up, all of a sudden nothing is in the house anymore. There's no power, her phone's dead, her pills are gone, she's freaking out. The dog, oh yeah, she has a dog, so the dog goes missing. By then, Richard Armitage is gone. So it's just the kids fucking with her, which is horrible. It's like these kids were like, yeah, and it's terrible. Don't fucking do that. Especially, she needs her meds, and she doesn't have her pills, and she's like, where is it? She's like, like, again, no phones, no one owns like a watch or anything, so they can't tell what time it is. So there's one part where like she's trying to make coffee or something. She's in the kitchen, and then she looks at one of the clocks, and it says January 9th. And it's like, what? Like, January 9th? It hadn't even been Christmas yet. Like, what the fuck? And then she looks at like a grandfather clock, and then she's kind of seeing if she could she's asking the kids like, did you fuck with the clocks? And the kids were like, oh, we didn't do it. And it's like the entire time you're watching it, you're like, kids, stop fucking around. Like, kids, stop fucking around, Like, stop fucking around. Like, she's obviously unstable. She needs her pills. This is not helping. Like, there's some religious imagery in the lodge because it used to be the wife stuff. So it's like, I think it's there's a cross, the Jesus-y cross, and I think there's also, like, I think it's supposed to be, like, Mary or something, but, like, a religious painting also in the house. And it's, like, making her, uncomfortable. Obviously. So she, like, puts this, like, she tries to, like, turn the painting away, all that stuff. Cool. So, like, she's very uncomfortable with that, again, for obvious reasons. And again, I don't know if in this movie you're supposed to have the kids back, but you're obviously like, you're on her side, because you're just kind of like, stop fucking around. And again, I feel the same way when it came to Goodnight Mommy, where I was just like, why are you guys fucking with the mom? You know what I mean? I was just like, I don't know, like, when people write, or like do films, or whatever stories like this, where, technically speaking, you feel like you should have the kid side, because it's kids. Kids are innocent. And even though they're kids, and even if they are doing something wrong, you kind of have their back, because there is the whole, like, I had more of the kids' backs in Goodnight Mommy, because they were very, very young. So you can really, like, even though I felt bad for the mother, but I still was on the kid's side in a sense, But this one, like, if both kids were, like, the age of, like, the daughter, maybe, but, like, one of them is, like, fucking, like, 15, 16. It's like, no, you know better, And it's just, like, I just felt bad for the woman the entire time, and I'm just watching it like, come on, man, like, stop fucking with her, she's freaking out, so she, like, just packs up a bunch of stuff, she leaves, tries to walk the snow to somewhere, she couldn't, and then she gets back to the house, and then she finds that there's something, like, in the snow, there's, like, a picture, of course the kids plant it, and then the kids are trying to get fuck with her more, and they're like, what does this picture mean? And the girl is like, I don't fucking know, like, stop. That, like, obviously you knew they were doing this the whole time, because then they go into, like, a part, I don't know, basement, some part of the house, that they were, like, hiding a bunch of stuff. They're like, maybe we should find her pills, like, maybe we should, like, they realize, like, okay, man, like, this is getting, like, serious. Like, the amount of gaslighting they did, for God's sakes. And then they were just like, they were like, okay, maybe we, like, find her pills or something, and all that stuff. And then they, like, the boy pretended to hang himself, and she's freaking out, obviously, and it's like, come on, man, she literally was part of a suicidal religious cult. Also, your own mother died of a suicide. Why do you think this is okay? And then, like, the kids were saying how she stomps around the house all night long. It turns out she does sleepwalk, and at one point, they showed, like, that she sleepwalked, whatever, she sleepwalked and she ended up having the gun, the revolver that Richard Armitage showed her that was like in the safe, which of course the safe lock is 1 2 3 4 5 because people are smart like that. And she's like hovering over the boy's bed, just like all sleepwalky like that, and but she in her mind thought that she was back at the cult thingy, but instead it was like the kids were part of the cult, and she like unravels pulls the purple sheet. Well, this time it's like blue, and then like the little boy has the duct tape that says "sin" on it, and she's like freaking out. Like obviously she's losing it. She had it, she was reasonably good, but then she didn't have her pills anymore, and then the gaslighting from the kids and the isolation of the place, like she started to lose it, and then whatchamacallit, finally, like Richard's hot ass finally comes back, and he was like, hey, I've been trying to call you guys, da da da, like what the fuck. He finally comes back, and then the girl loses it. She ends up shooting his ass like straight in the head, bap, all that stuff, and it's like, what are you gonna do, she ends up like dragging his body out, and you're like, okay, yeah. So then like the movie just ends with, like Richard's dead, and then the kids have the duct tape over their mouths to say "sin" on it, and it kind of just ends with, like you kind of see the gun, so like she ends up killing them, and I don't understand why. I don't understand. I'm like looking on like Letterboxd. I'm like, I don't understand why some people gave this a 5-star. It's I don't know. It's not that like thought provoking. It's not like, it's not one of those movies where I was like, oh, a twist. Oh, like this is da da da. I just saw it and I was just like, this is terrible to this woman. This is like, wow. God damn. And it reminds me of that Christmas movie, like, what, Better Watch Out, where it was, like, they think it's a home invasion thing, but it turns out, like, the girl is babysitting, like, they planted it or something, like, that's, like that, because it's not, it feels like it's a prank bro, but in a movie, like, a thriller movie format, like, I never liked that shit, it's a prank bro, oh, God, but it's a thriller thingy, and I also felt like, but with the movie, there were times where, like, when they would go into close-ups, it was, like, way too close-up, It wasn't, like, close-up like this. All of a sudden, it would just be, like, this much of the face, and it's like, yeah, I'm talking. Or, like, they would just, like, do this, like, okay, we're talking right now. These are the close-ups, and it's like, oh my god. It's, like, full opposite of, Mr. Robot cinematography, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not enough negative space in this frame, please, just, back it up, But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like this. Like, the entire time you felt bad for the woman. Like, a lot of the reviews said fuck them kids. And some of them were like, fuck them kids, 4 stars. Some of them were like, fuck them kids, 2 stars. Yeah. Yeah, like 4 stars, fuck them kids. Some of them are like 2 stars, fuck them kids. And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I was trying to read some of the reviews. Like, again, like, I'm reading some of the reviews and saying why they liked it, but it's kind of like the reasons why I didn't like it, Like, also, it was like paralyzing and agonizing. I've been considering, what was it like? Wishing I didn't have to endure what came next. I haven't felt this truly achingly scared in a long time. What a glory. No! In no way was I scared at any point watching this movie. I watched it at fucking like 3 in the morning. And like, there were times where I was like, I just kept thinking like, why are they, like, they would show the lodge and then they would kept showing like shots of the dollhouse, And also like the dollhouse had some kind of like foreshadowing what would happen because like the dolls were laying like, you saw like 2 girls and a guy kind of thing, and it looked like the 2 children, and then the woman like laid down. I don't know. I don't know. I think because there are people who didn't like Hereditary, so like they're using this movie to like justify that, which, honey, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I gave it 2.5 stars because I'm just someone I follow. Like, it's funny because on Letterboxd you can see like what other people, it's like 4 stars, 3.5, 4.5, really, bro, 3.5, 1 star. Like, someone I follow gave this a full 1 star. I was like, that's also why I, like, when I went into this, I was like, oh god. Because I saw such, like, a thing. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, if someone's giving it 4.5 and someone else I follow is giving it 1, I was like, oh god, who knows? But anyway, yeah. That's The Lodge. It's on streaming, so if you want to check it out, you know, again, it's not scary. It's not. In no way at any point in the movie am I like, oh shit, what? Like, actually, the only time I did, oh, was when Alicia Silverstone's character died. It was just like a, oh, kind of thing. But that was it. That was, like, the only thing in the movie that, like, made me, like, go, oh. Everything else, I was like, you know, I'm like, and, oh, you're just gonna, you know, like, anyway, this is not good. I'm sorry. It's not good. Alright. Who else is texting me? Oh, alright. See ya.